Hello, world. Welcome to the next episode and the latest episode of Let's Talk Barca. All right, so in today's episode, Let's Talk Barca, we're going to go into Nico. And okay, so with Nico, we have a young man, roughly 19, turning 20 soon. He's got good height, physical, strong, um, very athletic. So that's good. Good in the air. He's got good control on the ball, decent vision. Um, he does take the long range shot. We haven't seen him score anything yet. We haven't seen him hit the target yet. But going forward, we probably want to see more of that. But what we want to see with Nico right now is we got to see him get. What I've noticed with Nico is that when he comes in off the substitutes bench, he's slow to get into the game. He makes a lot of early mistakes. So once he gets into the game, he's usually very good in the game, and he's locked in and can control the game. He wins back the ball well. He cycles the ball well. Once he's in the game and he's going, but he seems to have a hard time coming in as a substitute off the bench. Um, and now what happens is in the last game against Atletico Madrid, I mean, yes, he made the mistake. To be honest with you, I am not really mad with Nico, and I'm not mad with Koeman. Those things are gonna happen. I mean, it's hard to play. This is why you don't see 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids playing a lot on national on teams. You just why you don't see them. That's why they're all usually on the bench because they make these mistakes, and coaches get fired because they're playing these kids. That is the result. I mean, it's like and to hear all these fan channels crying and crying, like you guys, oh my goodness, you guys are gonna be so embarrassed of yourselves when you guys go back in that. Like, if you guys actually stop, play back and listen to how emotional you are about something that is so logical. He's playing all kinds of kids. Kids, you got Dest on the left hand side, right? Who's really right? He's really right when he's still learning the fullback position on the right side, but now he's playing on the left side for Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. Then beside there you have Arujo who's learning his trade and learning to how to play, but he's doing well. He's holding his own. You have Mengesha who's now out of position, learning his position as a right back. Then you have Nico learning his position as a holding midfielder, right? And you have Gavi learning his position as a winger, right? Gavi's playing a winger, right? So you have a coach that is trying to get these guys up to speed to play Atletico Madrid, that they only need one little incy mistake and they can capitalize. That's what they do. Like, that is what Atletico Madrid does. And if you look at the game, beside those two mistakes, we had our chances. You know what I mean? We could have, if we were more clinical, if we would have had Aguero, if we would have had Dembele, if Fati would have been like fully running, the team would have been different, right? So the problem is that when you're playing these kids and you're playing Nico in such an important position, we haven't figured out our center back pairing. PK is old and he's done. We know PK is done. Arujo is doing what he has to do. We have to figure out that left side, right? But in order to figure out the left side, because Garcia's not working because he's young and Nico's young. So we're making all kinds of mistakes that just happening because these guys are young. Eric Garcia has to learn the league. He's got to get his confidence up. He's got to get into rhythm. He's learning. He's playing on the left side, but he's used to playing on the right side. We've got to figure that out. Arujo that looks like he's okay on the right side, on the left side. So we have to figure that out. And that is all impacting Nico's performance. Right? So that is stopping Nico's development. Right? And if we continue to harper on the coaching will never be able to get through to Nico. Because what Nico's got to do is he's got to go out there, play, make mistakes, be yelled at, understand, okay, I've got to rotate here, I've got to step back here, I got to do this, I got to see this coming, I've got to anticipate if he's going to make that cross. You know what I mean? Because these are things that Busquets does naturally. But Busquets is a genius. People, don't compare Nico to Busquets. Busquets is a genius and a totally different player. No one else is going to be able to do what Busquets does. Busquets got go-go gadget, Inspector Gadget legs and arm legs. Like those legs that stretch out like nothing. Nothing you ever see. They just stretch right out. They keep going. Right. Nico doesn't have that. Nico has speed. He has physicality. So Nico's got to now figure out his own way of defensively playing the same position using his assets, right? Figuring out his positions and where he should be on the pitch to be able to recover in time. Can he afford to go further up the pitch and use his speed, but use his speed all out? Or does he have to hang back a little more? He's got to figure that out in the game, right? But in order for him to figure that out, he's going to make mistakes. Now, once again, because he's in the pivot and he's in the holding position, his mistakes could lead to goals like we saw. The same thing happens, I mean, remember when Dembele first got here? When Dembele he would turn the ball over and it instantly would turn into a goal, right? Because he would lose the ball in positions that were just harmful to the team. As he started to play more and more and more, last season particularly, we started to see he would lose the ball in less dangerous positions for us because he started to understand where he fit into the system. This is what's going to happen to Nico. But he's 19 years old, people. Give him time. We're in, 7 games into the season. The season's not over, right? Let's wait and see, right? So we have to, I personally think we should wait until January. Because I think in January, we'll have a great opportunity to assess the team. We'll be able to look up and see where we are. I like the idea of Ten Hag coming in because we already know that we were looking for Dani Olmo. We knew that he was been on the Barcelona radar for well almost over a year now, right? So that's been picking up some steam, and I think he fits in well, especially as a right winger. That will help us on the right wing with Dembele because Dembele can go right or left, but then that gives us insurance because Dembele and Fati are they're very prone to knee injuries, so we have to make sure that we have somebody else that can play on both wings, and Dani Almo fits that perfectly, right? So if we can get Dani Almo in January, why would we waste any money trying to fire Koeman when all that money could go towards signing Dani Almo? And if you really don't think that that team can score goals with Dembele, Dani Almo, Fati, Memphis Depay, like and Pedri and Gavi feeding in the ball with Dest and Alba on the overlaps. If you don't think that those guys will be able to score the ball come January, then I don't know. Irregardless of Koeman, like Koeman does enough to get them into positions to score goals. I've always seen that. Now it's just a matter of allowing guys like Nico, Eric Garcia, to develop, right? So we got to see him use his athleticism to break up the plays, to keep up with runs. I mean, he has the speed to keep up with Lamar. This was his chance to say we have a holding midfielder that could keep up with a winger, right? He has that ability, right? So that's what we want to see. We want to be able to say, you know what? We're going to take Busquets out. We're going to put Nico in there, but Nico now is going to cover that with straight athleticism, where people think, oh, that guy's going to be gone. No, Nico's going to chase you down because he has the ability to chase down a winger, right? So that's where, so the situation Nico, I think that, and then everybody thinks that he's going to be upset and crying because he got called out. But I think if Nico's going to be the type of player that we want him to be, he will not be a shrinking violet. He's going to stand up and bang his chest, just like I believe Gavi would, bang his chest and go out there, and he's going to perform with a fury and a vengeance. No one's going to run past Nico again. That is my assessment. No player is going to run past Nico like that again. Nico is going to learn his lesson, and he understands the consequences. So I really think that is, because let's be honest, it's undeniable. Like, anybody who looks at that Like if you really look at that tape, it's under there is no coaching there. Nico's got to follow the run of Lamar. It's man to man marking. He's got to follow the run, right? So Nico understands that. He's grown enough to understand that. He's mature enough to understand that, and I think that Nico will appreciate what Koeman is saying. The media just does not make it easy for Koeman because like I said, he cannot take the blame for something that he's not responsible for, because that's just going to put the nails in his coffin that the media's like. I mean, let's be honest, the media's had him out since he's been in. So it's hard for a coach to maneuver in those circumstances. Like, and everybody knows it. And if you listen to what the players said, especially the Dutch players, Memphis Depay and Frankie De Jong, they pretty much said it. If you read between the lines of what they said, like they themselves feel very confident they can turn it around. It's just that they're not doing it. De Jong mentioned he doesn't believe he's scoring enough from midfield. Um, Memphis mentioned that he still feels he could score more. So you have those guys saying, listen, we feel that we could have did more, right? And I agree with them. De Jong should score more, and I think that Nico is gonna take that same mentality and be like, you know what? If those guys are gonna score more, I've got to defend more. Like I'm part of the defense as a holding midfielder. I've got to keep these clean sheets, right? And I think that everything should turn itself around in time. I think Nico's going to be good. I think he has a chance actually to hold down that holding position. He's got to get his game up because Ryan Gravenbeck will be coming in, and if he comes in, boy, oh boy, he's gonna be real fast sitting on that bench unless we go to two holdings. You know what I mean? Which I don't. It still think he's gonna have to fight out De Jong. So he's got to get his game up because if we get Ryan Gravenbeck, he could be looking for life on the bench. So come on, Nico. So that's my assessment of Nico. I think Nico has a good chance. We need to look at him to just continue to move the ball, cycle the ball, win back the ball, use his athleticism more. And once we can see that, and we'll see that improvement, I'm sure Koeman will continue to give him more and more minutes, and he'll become a more established player in the team. All right, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Leave some comments in below if you disagree. Let's debate it. All right, and for those who know, and you don't know, have a good one.